Andy Reid, I'm not going to tell any tales out of schools. I'm going to give the top 10 storylines that fans could expect for the week. He's going to be way, way up there. What do you think's going on between his temples right now, Brian?
And obviously you're not going to get a hint of it because Andy is so subdued. Andy and I are classmates from back in the BYU days.
That's right.
And Andy, you're so happy for Andy after an incredible career to finally get an opportunity, if he can indeed. And he's obviously going to hold that at arm's length. It's just something you just don't let yourself go there, particularly Andy at this stage in his career. And, I don't know how many more years Andy's going to coach, but as you always hear, you never know when you're going to get back. And it's been 15 years since he was on his first one. So yeah, I can't imagine he's just not going to let himself go there emotionally until after the game.
Do you remember the first time you met Reid? You got that story? When did you actually meet him?
Oh boy, he was an offensive lineman. He was a little younger than I was.
Right.
And it was actually, I came back and coached the JV team. I can't, Andy and I didn't really didn't know each other that well. It was more post that we were both BYU grads and had done some things. But, Andy's the real deal. He's just as good. And what you see, people got to know what you see in the news conference, that subtle, subdued, kind of mumbling, that's Andy. That's Andy. That's no act. That's Andy through it.
So when he says he had a cheeseburger and went to sleep to celebrate the AFC Championship game.
Well, the only thing he lied there is that it was one cheeseburger. It was not a cheeseburger, I promise you that.
Now, was Jim McMahon the quarterback when you were the grad assistant? Was he there?
He was. Yeah, Jim was, and we had Steve Young, and that whole progression through there. Jim was with the varsity and just tearing things up. When I was the JV coach there, I had a young, early Steve Young and some things. So it was a hell of a team.
So Steve Young and McMahon and Andy Reid were all at BYU kind of at the same time that you were there. Is that
it all kind of flows through, doesn't it? It was kind of when you look back on it in the group that kind of Mark Wilson was a guy as well in there, and of course to have Jim, I had Jim for a year in Minnesota later on, which was a real gem because he's the real deal now. I mean, he's a different. Some of the sideline conversations with Jim,
right,
in itself would sell some books.
For more of the Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.